Hey there, friends, and welcome to the Peacock Homestead, and welcome to Northern New York. So it has been so beautiful here. We've gotten a little bit of rain, so it's making everything bloom. Everything here that you see, I've transplanted myself. All these hostas, and then we have poppies, and this is over a decade's worth of work and waiting. So it took me a long time to get everything looking the way it does. When we first moved here, this was all garbage. We had to clear out all the garbage, and then I planted all these beautiful flowers. The poppies were on the side of the yard. Somebody must have planted them years ago, and we found them growing wild, so I just transplanted those along with our hostas and irises, and we found some lily of the valleys. There was daylilies growing here already, along with many other beautiful plants that come up every year just to make it easier on us and easier on our bank accounts so we don't have to buy them every year. So when we water everything, we water early in the morning or late at night. And the Hubs has been maintaining the lawn, and I seriously need to get out there and weed around the house and work on my flower beds. That's much needed. Even though we live on a busy road, I love coming out here in the morning and late in the evening and just relaxing and having a cup of coffee and enjoying my garden. We did put a net over the brassicas because I do not want any moths laying eggs or eating my broccoli or my cabbage or my cauliflower. That won't be very nice. So the puppy's getting really big. He is about 45 pounds now, and he is going to be a monster. He's doing well with potty training, and we're still working on that, but he will eventually come around and be an amazing dog. He definitely gets a little bit too excited when he sees the goats, but we're working on that as well. His mom and dad were about 89 to 90 pounds, so he's going to be a really big boy. And Mr. Jack is going to be neutered soon, so he is going to be neutered around the 19th of June. So he is going to be in recovery, but I'm sure he'll do well. I'm going to get some blood work done for him to make sure his organ function is good, so we'll be planning that for the future. So this week I made some of my own laundry soap, which is going to save me so much money and it's going to be so much better on the environment. So you're going to need a bar of castile soap. I'm using Kirk's, and 1 cup of washing soda and 1 cup of borax. But first you're going to grate that 1 bar of soap up and melt it with about 2 cups of water. And not to boil it though, you don't want to boil it, you just want to gently melt it so everything's incorporated. So then you can add it to your 5-gallon bucket with the 1 cup of borax and 1 cup of washing soda. So right now I'm just melting that up. And it has some bubbles because I've been whipping it around with my spoon, but I am not bringing it to a boil. And then I'm going to take my 1 cup of washing soda and borax and give that a really good stir and get all the clumps out. And I filled my bucket up with warm water halfway, so it's a 5-gallon bucket. And I have all my 3 ingredients in it. And then as soon as I get that all mixed up well, I'm just going to top it off with water. And this is going to last me a really long time. So when you do a load of laundry, if you're going to do a large load, you're going to do half a cup for each load. And for a medium, you could use a 1/4 of a cup. And that'll last you quite a long time, and it'll be much safer for the environment. This is what I got out of my garden this week. I got a whole bunch of lemon balm and oregano, and I also harvested some thyme. And I'm going to use this for baking and cooking, and I'm also going to use it for herbal medicine. I like to make tinctures and infused oils and teas. And I also put all of these herbs in my chicken's water, and it keeps them nice and healthy. So I'm going to use my drying rack. I got this on Amazon. I think it was about 20 bucks. And I put all of the spices in there and the herbs. And I'm just gonna kind of flip them every day until they dry completely and then store them in my jars. This week I also made some blueberry muffins. They turned out so amazing. I'm probably going to make a couple more batches and put them in the freezer for snacks for lunch for myself when I work. So these little muffin cups I got off the TikTok shop. I love these little muffins. They look like little newspapers. They are so cute. So I'm just using an ice cream scoop and filling up the cups, and they turned out wonderfully. I like to preheat my oven to about 500 degrees and then turn it down to 375, and I'll bake these for 25 minutes. But it'll give it a nice rise, and they turned out so super delicious and tender on the inside. And I really enjoyed these for breakfast for when I went to work. And the hubs really enjoyed these as well. I really love baking on the weekends and getting myself prepared for when I have to go to work, because who wants to bake or cook when they get off of work? Definitely not this girl. So I'll make and prepare things on the weekend so then I can have little tasty snacks like this when I'm busy and on the go. This week I also received my rugs that I ordered. So I ordered this big area rug and these two little runner rugs because my cattle dog, she had torn both of her ACLs, so she needed something underneath her so she can have some gripping action. And I also ordered this beautiful curtain. So if you would like to order these are actually on my TikTok shop. I love these beautiful lace curtains. They go really well with my farmhouse decor, and I'm super happy with them. And I actually ordered 4 more for my living room, and I can't wait to show you guys when I get those. This week I also made some rhubarb-bars. This is just the base. It has sugar, flour, baking powder, and it has butter, salt, and an egg. And I'm packing that down. This is going to be the base of the recipe. And then I'm going to be cooking some rhubarb and making the filling. And this is the topping. So the topping is just some oats, sugar, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and melted butter. Right here I have my rhubarb, which is about, I would say, 6 or 7 stalks. And I have about a cup of rhubarb here, and I'm going to be making some rhubarb tea. So all I did was cook up the rhubarb, and I added 1 cup of sugar, and then I'm going to strain that out and just add a bunch of water, and that is going to be our rhubarb tea. So right here, I'm adding some flour to the mix, and that is going to be the thickener for my rhubarb bars. And I'm just going to zip it up with a stick blender because I noticed there was lumps of flour, and I don't want that. That'd be yucky. So I'm just going to zip that up with a stick blender. This is going to be the filling for the rhubarb bars. We're going to pour over the base, the cookie part, and then we are going to add the topping. So I'm just going to spread that out evenly, and then I'm going to add my topping, which is going to be the oats and the sugar with the butter and the vanilla and cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle that on evenly the best I can. And then that is going to go in the oven on a 400-degree oven for 25 minutes. And then I can't wait to show you what that looks like. It was so amazing. I let this cool for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. And then we are going to cut this and enjoy. And I'm just going to keep this in the refrigerator so it hardens up nice and it becomes a more sturdy cookie bar. And this was actually a really delicious dessert, and I definitely recommend trying this. Here is my rhubarb all strained. So I just have 1 cup of water, a cup of sugar, and then a cup of my rhubarb. And I'm pouring it in my pitcher, and I'm going to fill up the rest of the way with water. And we are going to enjoy that for the rest of the week. And actually, it didn't even last 3 days. It was so delicious. And you can always add some lemon juice, and that would be so delicious. I'm actually going to try that next time. Just add a little bit of lemon juice, and that would definitely be the bee's knees. It definitely hit the spot on a really hot summer's day. We enjoyed this, and we let it chill, and you can pour it over ice, and it was amazing. Our little Nigerian baby goats are getting so big. They're finally weaned, thank goodness. But I slowly put them on goat pellets I get at Tractor Supply, the medicated brand, and they get a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night, so they're doing very well with that. And of course, they get hay all day long and fresh water at least twice a day, and they are just a joy. So one of the dinners that I made this week using all of my beautiful spices. Right here I have sage, and I also have some thyme and oregano. And I put salt and pepper and a whole bunch of onions inside the chicken and onions on top and around. And the hubs was doing some gardening for me. He's trellising up my tomatoes because they are going to get pretty big, hopefully. But I have my chicken slow cooking in the slow cooker. And then I'm going to pair it with some basmati rice and some of the greens that I had canned this year. And that is going to be what we're having for dinner tonight. So the chicken turned out so amazing. I cooked it all day for at least 12 hours. And we had these greens with it and the rice. And I made a gravy to go with it, and that was definitely the bee's knees. So that's it, friends. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you on the next one, friends.